Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Let's see, my cat is on my lap, and the main microphone isn't plugged in, so I'm using the headset, and I can't hear any of the audio. So, good luck. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna do a Lua video, just a 360 radar, and then what I'll do is we're gonna switch over to Roblox again, and we'll make a truck. Somebody asked me to make just a regular flatbed truck, so we're gonna do that for them. We'll do that for them. That'll be our next build series. So for this is our 360 radar. So what we need is we need a radar, and I like to paint it black, and of course it's going to be facing this way. And then we need a monitor, preferably a 3x3. I'll show you how to scale it down in this video. Somebody asked me if it works on a 2x2 and a 1x1. It does. What doesn't work are the rings. Let's just go over that right this. Let's just go over that right this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to load. No, I'm not going to load from there. We need the super simple radar. I wonder what vehicle has a super simple radar. I think the aircraft has a super simple. All right, let's do this. Let's load the plane. And let's figure out where the radar is. I gotta change this plane around before it flies again. Radar goes to there. So this should be the super simple radar. That we'll be using. So I'll copy that. Let's go new vehicle, you betcha, and let's just gonna drag out some. And that way I already have some code that we can use. So if you haven't gone over the super simple radar, this is the super simple radar. It does work. It is super simple. And what we're going to cover today is a 360 radar, how to make a 360 radar, all that good stuff. Just so players can better understand sort of how things work. Okay, so we will, itchy, huh? We'll paste that there. We're going to merge this. Okay, so now we need our radar. All right. It's not spelled R-A-D-R. I'm actually surprised. And then we need a monitor. We're going to be using 4 monitors in this case. 1 in this direction. And just look at the way the monitors are facing. I guess... Yeah, we'll do it like this for now. And then what we're going to do is... We'll abridge it into a single monitor, and I'll show you how to do that. It's actually really simple. So what we have is our 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. And now what we're going to do is we have our, we probably don't need 2 batteries, and we have a battery. We need a toggle switch. Plug button. This is just going to turn everything on, okay? So we have our 4 cardinal directions. So north, south, east, and west. And this is where we want the radar to face. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it very short range because we're in a hangar for 1. And I only really want it to detect the player as we're walking around, so you can see it detecting us, just so we know how it is. So what we're going to learn today in this video is we are going to learn how to change the direction of detection on the radar. So, as we all know, with the super simple radar, the radar has to go in the direction of the monitor. So we Infrared radar. Oh, do I need a panel? Don't tell me I need a panel. Do I need a panel? Let's take a look at this thing. Missile panel in. Okay, I don't. Do I? What's this? Oh, thank you, cat. Oh, thank you, cat. In from radar. Okay, and then this is probably in radar panel. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. That was probably just to turn it on and all that sort of stuff. Okay, and then this is also if it detects a target, we can outbound that signal for detection. So We have our super simple radar. This is the radar itself. And then we have our Lua script. This script here is what draws the circles, okay? So where it says width and height, I have it preset. So a 3x3 monitor. Let's go through some things here. We take a monitor in Stormworks, okay? A simple monitor is 16 by 16 pixels. 16 pixels this way and 16 pixels that way. So when we're trying to draw to that screen, we have to remember that that is our maximum. So we can take the center, 8 by 8, and then from there we can draw smaller circles. So what I've done is I've just taken that and I said, okay, a 3 by 3 monitor is 96 pixels by 96 pixels. And so what it does is it just gives you a better way to gauge targets. But you can scale that down. So that's all this is. So you can make this 16 by 16. But just remember, it won't affect this. Actually, well, you'll have to change your radius because your radius is no longer 48. Your radius is going to be 8. So this is going to have to be 8. That way it goes from the center of the monitor out, and it doesn't go beyond that. And then when you're drawing these circles, you'll have to change this because this is the radius. So when you draw a circle, it tells us that we just need the X and the Y and the radius. So that's all I've done is I said, okay, well, let's draw a circle with a radius of 12, 24, 36, and 48. And that way, when you scale your radar, let's say you want to detect an object at 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers or 10 kilometers, you're able to gauge the distance as you detect it getting closer to you, saying, okay, so if this radar is scaled to 10 kilometers, this is our maximum, 10 kilometers here. And then these become, that would probably be almost 3 kilometers. And then that would be almost 3 kilometers, and that would almost be 3 kilometers. So let's just spawn it and turn it on, and that way we can try and better understand what we've just done here. Yeah, this one's pretty thick. I don't actually like this. Let's see. That's probably better. Yeah, so if we turn it on, and there's no, I need power in the button first. I didn't connect. It was the only thing I didn't connect. How foolish of me. And then we need to turn on the monitor. And we'll just turn on all the radar, even though we're not using it all. Right, and so for this example, what we're going to do is we're going to change the sweep mode to sweep. And this is going to tell us our limit, basically how far this way and how far this way off of 0. So if you set it to half, it's going to go this way, all the way this way, and all the way that way. Or if you want to slow it down. So let's just spawn it in. Let's just take a look at that. How does that look? What is he going on about? So instead of rotating 360 degrees, it only rotates 90 degrees in either direction. There, you see that? It's rotating 90 degrees off of 0, and you're getting that that line in there. And it's funny, it's detecting me. That's hilarious. So, but as you can see, it's actually printing me on the wrong side of the monitor. And you're going to say, well, why is that? Why is it printing you on the wrong side of the monitor? Because this radar is facing, let's just say this is north, just for all the simplest way we can do this. And this radar is facing south. And so if we go inside our line, you'll see that it's set to 1.58. So 1.58 is a line facing down. So here we'll spawn it in. Hold on a second here. I'll move it closer so I don't have to run all the way over here. All right. And then let's just get rid of that rotation value. So it's not going to rotate, it's just going to be a line. And then we're going to see where that line is. So it turns out that if you put if we draw a line and we use 1.58, that line is going to be facing south instead of north, and our radar is facing north. So what we need to do is we need to say, okay, so I need to rotate that line north. How do I do that? Well, if we double this, I'm just trying to think. I guess it would be 3.16. Now, okay, so 3.16 would be accurate, and you're going to see it's out. And it's out because 00 on the monitor is in the upper left corner. And the inner, so when you go to like 1 and 1, you're now drawing inside the space of the monitor. So that's why 3.16 is out, and it's actually, I think it's 3.15. The math is a little off because you have that 1 pixel by 1 pixel insert into the screen. So there, so now you see that it's not quite straight. It's out just a little bit. But now you see that we've rotated our line east. Let's just call that east, okay? So what we need to do is we need to get that line to rotate north. So how do we do that? We need to add another 1.58 onto here, which would make this 4. 7.4, I think that's right. It's been a long day. I'm really sorry. It's been a really long day. All right, that might be the case. Yeah, but you see it's out just a little bit. So it might need to be 7.2. And you also have to remember that we're drawing this line on the monitor that was created inside the game. So we have to understand that the way it draws pixels is not the same as the way an actual monitor draws pixels. So even though we are trying to be as accurate as we can be, we have to work with what we've got. So we can just change this a little bit to 2. All it's going to do is it doesn't really affect much. There we go. So now we have a straight line north. But now you're wondering, okay, well, wait a minute. When it detects you in the north, it's drawing us on the south side of the monitor. So how do we transfer? So what it's doing now is when we use this radar here and it detects us, it's going to draw us down here. But we want it to draw us up here in the direction that the radar is facing. So how do we do that? Well, what we need to do is we need to take this number that we just found, 4.72. We need to copy that, go into the other Lua script in our super simple radar, and down here where we add this number to all of our lines, and we're going to add that number to it, 4.72. And then you'll see that now I won't be, well, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. There we go. All right. I'll take that. Super simple radar. Turn that on. Oh, I got an error. Malformed number near 4.72A. Malformed number. Aha. Right, because we could just say negative H, and it would print it on the, it would reverse that. And instead of printing it on the south side of the monitor, it would print it on the north side of the monitor. But when you check for accuracy, as it's trying to gauge us when we move left and right, and it's giving us the angle, it throws out that angle. So it's not as simple as just being able to change an integer. We have to find the correct value, which is going to give us the line in the direction that we want. Perfect. So now we have a line in the direction that we want. And now, there we go. You'll see I've been detected by the radar, and it's drawing a line to the top of the screen instead of to the bottom of the screen. So I guess, and that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it. So then, if we were making a dial, right, we bring our rotation in, we convert it to degrees, we make our dial, and we can actually, like, we'll do that. Maybe I'll do that in the next one. We'll make a proper fuel, we'll make a proper dial. We'll take a one-by-one monitor. We can even do that right now. Let's do that right now. Let's save this. What is this? Our super simple radar. Here, I'm just going to save it. I got so many of these plates, but we'll save it as that. And then what we'll do, we'll get a monitor. Really simple. And we'll get a blank microcontroller. Now, we need just one thing. We'll go into our super simple radar. We need this. Well, we need this. We'll need this and that. So here, we'll just take this here. That's it. And we'll go into this blank one, okay? We will put down a Lua block there. We will put the values in the every logic tick. So every tick is going to find the angle, and we just need to change that to angle. And that's going to be input. Let's see. Get number 1 equals angle. Can we do that? Equals rotation H. All right. So now, then what we want to do is we want to draw that on our little screen. So we're going to draw a line. In this case, it's a circle. We'll get rid of the circle. What we want to do is we want to draw a line. And we need the x1 and the y1 and the x2 and the y2. So we can make this the center of the screen by saying width divided by 2 and height divided by 2. And then we can say x1 and y1. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh, what we need to do, we probably need to set up the microcontroller. Number, all we need is the number going in. And then let's take a composite right number. Composite right number. And this is going to be a input, yeah. Channel 1 right into the Lua script, and then we need a video out. Update just like that. Now we can connect it to power. And then we just need a rotation. So let's just take the rotation from the radar because it's just a quick and easy example. Oh. We need to make that an output. And we need to connect, we need to tell it to output. Okay, let's try that. It's saying syntax error. Near an equal sign. I wonder. Oh, line 3. There we go. Just had to rewrite the expression. So let's say it now. Attempt to perform arithmetic with a nil value. Global W. Oh, I didn't define W and H. No. H divided by 2. Right here. Oh, yes, right here. You see? So we can get rid of that, and we can say W equals 16 and H equals 60. We have to define it before we run. We have to define it as a variable, and then that way it can be used within the script. That was my fault there. And that's how we just simply define the pixels on the screen, right? That's it. Because, okay, for example, if we do a map and we do a touch screen, which we'll actually do one. I made one already, and I think I can do it again a lot better. And let's say you just click here on the monitor. What it'll do is it'll just give you the number of pixels, the X and Y of where you click. So you have to be able to convert that out. Now what's it saying? Arithmetic on a nil value distance. Oh boy, really? Distance is the length of the line. So what are we trying to do here? Oh, distance. What do we want it to be? Radius, 8. Right, we have 16 pixels, so the radius would be 8. Oh, I'm like, is it gonna work? There we go. But for some reason, it's working though. It's following the radar. Look at how much it's turning. That's why it's able to detect me. Okay, so see, it is following the radar actually, but it's way out of center. Let's try and why is it way out of center? It's down here where we draw it. Width divided by 2 and the height divided by 2. I guess I could define it 8 by 8. Maybe that's what I have to do. No, I don't. Do I have that wrong? Oh, we're not. No, what's going on here? Oh, maybe it's actually 32 by 32, a single monitor, not 16 by 16. And 16 is our radius, and that's why I'm getting this confused. I think that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Yeah. So there we go. So now we have our dial, right? We have our dial. So now what we can do is let's take a tank, okay, and then and then we'll get back to doing the 360 radar. I just kind of got distracted here, I guess. And let's take a valve. I just sort of, I guess, highlighting the importance of all of this kind of stuff. And then we can say holes. So if we were making a dial, we could say the tank content would be our, and then what we need to do is we need to figure out how much, what's in there. What's the gas value that's in there? So in this case, it happens to be 984 liters. All right. So taking what we've learned about how to turn the line, let's say we want the line to only go in the top half of the monitor, right? We don't want it to spin in a circle while the value is going down. We want it to, when it's full, point in one direction, and when it's empty, point in another direction. So the rotation in this case happens to be, let's see, I think it was 900. While I'm thinking about this, 984. Okay, so our maximum value is 984. Let's see if we can figure this out. So 984 would be this, right? A rotation. Okay, so maybe we divide it first before we bring the number in here. Yeah, yeah. So that is the tank. Do we need to? When it's full, it should pour. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. All right, let's just see what happens first, and then try and make an educated guess based on that. Yeah, I see how it's just spinning there. So what we want to do is we want to maybe uh, I guess we want to divide it into itself. I guess we could try that. We could try that. So we could take this and we could divide it by 984 and we could see what happens. Oh, compile there. I probably should have used brackets. Can we do that? Or we'll have to say rotation equals input. And then we can take, yeah, let's see, we'll take this, copy that, then we'll say that, divided by 984 equals rotation. Oh, can I, oh, I need to rewrite that. There we go. So that's where it sits, wherever that is. Ah, you see, it's going down a lot slower. So now what we need to determine is where is zero going to be and where is full going to be. So if in here we say zero is going to be, we don't want it to be 1.58, but we want it to be 3.15 maybe. So it points east. No, west. Never eat shredded wheat. Yeah, points west, points west. There. It almost gives us that line. Now that's just, I'm wondering if maybe that's just the math. Let's see. Oh, and it's actually going, yeah, there we go. And it's rotating backwards. It's rotating counterclockwise. So it's like it's almost full, and then it's emptying and it's going that way. So if we, let's see, now what we need to do, I guess we could try this. We could try this. Let's see what happens. This might have to go to 90. I'm not sure. Let's see. Because we're scaling it down now. Instead of making it a circle, we're making it a half circle. So I don't know if that changes the other, because we're dividing a half circle by a half circle. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. That is it. There you go. So now what we've done is we've created ourselves a dial that only covers half the screen, which is perfect, and it's slightly out. I wonder if we could just change the degrees just a little bit. Let's see, 3.15. I wonder which way it has to go. Let's try this, and let's just see which way it takes us. So check the map here. Okay. Oh yeah, that took us up a little bit. Okay. That's actually perfect. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Might have to change. That can work for me. I'm okay with that. That can work. That can work. So now what we can do is then we can just add to our dial. Really, we can say we can draw a rectangle. Let's see. Let's draw a text box. And then, all right. So we're going to draw a text box on the screen. So we need our X and our Y. And the thing to remember is that the text is 5 pixels wide. Where are we here? 4 pixels wide and 5 pixels tall. So if we want to have this value, it's 3 integers, which means we need to be at least 12 wide. So if we started from the center being 16, and we went 6 in either direction, that would give us 10 and 22. Which would be our X and Y can be W divided by 2, and that can be H divided by 2. And then our width. So our width, I think our width, we have to start here and go that way. I don't think we can start in the center and go either way. So it's going to be 12. Yeah, so that means 6 off the center. So this has to be 10 pixels. And then this is going to be, we could say 15. So that might have to be 9 or 8. And then the text, I don't worry too much about the alignment. It'll be in there. And then the text you want to put in quotes. Just like that. So what we want to do is we want, or in this case, we just want the rotation, H. We just want to print that value. So we can see how that works. It'll be in the center of the screen. And then we can offset it from there if we want to. Let's just see how that works. So from this, what I'm hoping you're learning is that you're now learning how to move the needle inside the circle. So when it comes to detecting objects east, the radar is going to face that way. So we need to find that alignment. And then as the radar detects objects, it'll accurately print that on the screen. And then we just need to bridge. So we'll do that next. We'll do that now. It's kind of a long video. Okay, there it is. But wait, it's giving us the decimal as well. So what we need to do now is, I think it's percent to, oh, I gotta look. Okay, let's save this. We want to print a whole number. We don't want to print the actual number. We just want to print the whole, a whole number without the decimals. So in order to do that, we need a script that's got, I don't think that's the other 361 I built. I don't think it's got that on it. I'm wondering which, we need a touch screen is what we need. Touch screen. This probably has it on it. In here. Yes. This is what we need, and we'll go over this right now. Okay, so when you want to print the number, the whole number, you want to say screen.draw text, and then of course we need our over, right? We need to align the text like we did, but then we need to say string.format. And in this case, it's not going to be speed, it's going to be rotation H. Just like that. Now, what does this mean? This is your decimal, and this number here is how many integers past the decimal you want. In this case, Stormworks gives us 6 total integers past the decimal. So if you don't want that, you can just put 0, and now that should just give us the whole number, which in most cases, that's all that really matters with the dials and stuff. And that's the easiest way to get the whole numbers onto the screen. And there it is. And then as the tank depletes, you should watch the number go down. Yes, it's like magic. There you go. So now we've made a dial, an actual dial, which gives us a number that we could read. Okay, let's check where we are in, 40 minutes into this one. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think that pretty much covers everything. What I wanted to just sort of complete with the radar is just to remember those things. So when you plant the radar in this direction, this is the direction that is detecting objects, okay? So if it spins in a circle and it detects an object over here, you want to make sure that it's going to print the object over there. So the only way to do that, oh yeah, everything's good, composite, is we need to make sure before we turn on the radar that our line is in alignment with the radar, because it's that X and Y value that we're going to be using to print. So for example, if you used in the beginning 1.58 where the line faces south, this is why we have to make sure the radar faces south when we turn it on, because it's going to start printing objects from the bottom of the screen in that direction. So you'll see here that it's detecting me and it's accurate. But if we plugged in this radar here, it would be reversed. It would be detecting me, but it would be drawing me at the top of the screen instead of the bottom of the screen. So hopefully with that kind of completes the radar. We made a little dial. Let's just recap going over the numbers. So this number value is where you want that line to be, right? 1.58 is south, and then you need to double it for east, and then you need to add another 1.58 to go north, and then you need to add another 1.58 to point east. I said west there. And then, of course, then you want to look at it, and you might need to change the numbers just a little bit, just so that way it's in alignment with whatever you're trying to do. And that's the basics of it. So hopefully now you can make yourself a nice fancy custom dial. So in the final part of this video, we can expand on this. And now what we can do is, because it's green, I don't have any other, just the basic Lua colors. So we could say draw a circle, F, right, on the back, or we could change the color of the background. Let's see, we can do this, and we can say X and Y would be a W divided by 2, and H divided by 2. And then our radius is going to be 32. We could make it even 30, just so it's slightly inside. All right. Oh, it's going to be green. We don't want that. We want it to be, let's see, so when the code is printing, it reads it like this, okay? So if you put these lines down and then you put a circle over top of it, the circle is going to cover up those lines. So what we need to do is we need to tell it to draw the circle first, and then tell it to draw the lines afterwards, and they'll draw it on top of the circle. And then what we need to do is we just need to take this and change it to there, but we could say, I think white is 2552552. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look. It'll be two different colors now, two different colors, whatever they are. We could use black even. You could use like, let's see what it is. There we go, it's white. And now you see how we can't, what happened there? Oh, because I didn't get rid of this. You see, we couldn't see anything because I told it to draw a circle filled over top of that. That color, the color white. So now we should have a green circle, and then we should have a white line, and we should have the value of that tank in white. Yes, and that's exactly what we have. And then we can just kind of get fancier and fancier than that. It looks like the radius on that is huge. What did I say it was? Radius of 30? No. We could say like 16. And then what we can do is we can, instead of drawing a full circle, we could draw just a circle, and it could have a radius of maybe 12, and we'll see how that looks. That looks pretty cool. There's our little dial. And now you can get fancy on there, and we could make markers where the pixels are, but that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. And then you see it's black in the background because what we didn't do is we didn't set a color. So what I would do is I would just change the radius on this circle here. We could change that to 20, and then that way it'll be off. It'll be larger than we won't be able to see corners. Let's see. Oops, running the wrong way. Yeah, because the dial tutorial I made earlier, there we go, right? And then we can make that, just adjust the circle. See, this one's still a bit small, so maybe I did need the 30 radius just to kick it out. And then you can make this one a bit bigger. It's 12 right now, but if you made it 16, it would be right out there. And that's it. Make the line shorter, change the colors, whatever you want to do. So I hope from that you've learned how to make a little dial with a little bit of code. And maybe that's going to help you with your radar. That's how we establish a 360 radar. A line here, a line here, a line here, and a line there. And you could print all 4 lines on a single screen. And you could have 4 of these microcontrollers. Just like that. And then what we can do is we could put all the video signals into here. For example, you could have a handler for that, and we would have our 4, our Lua, 2, 3, 4. This is the video coming out of the radar. Yeah, input, 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 video, 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 and video. And then all we need to do is we need to send that into a Lua script. A video switch box. No, video switch box. Let's see, how can we do this? How can we do this? How can we do this? We could send it out, instead of sending it out as video data, we could send it out as composite data from here. And then that would allow us to bridge it together. So we just need one more. Composite output, and where is it here? So we could update that. Merge it. And then those are going to be composite inputs. Just change these. And then it doesn't matter how they get in here. We could say can we bridge? Oh yeah, you know what? It doesn't even matter. We can bring this into here. Yeah. 2. Oh, come on. 3. Right. 1. And 4. And then we do this. Aha! There we go. There we go. And we have our video out, which is here. We'll get another one. Video output. All right. This is getting dark in here. I better turn on some lights. Just like that. And then we can send all 4 of those into there. And we can send that to there. Now we have to make sure that when we connect all our radars together, north, east, south, and west, and then we need the composite, north, east, south, and west. That's it. That's all we need. And it'll go through and come back out. All these inputs are for something else. So then what we need to do is it's going to print us all 4 lines, right? So what we need to do is we need to say, okay, this is the radar that's facing north. So the line that we want to bring from here is 4.72. All right. And then we have to make sure that in here it's 4.72. Okay, perfect. So we can update that. We can say, what's our southbound? That's this one here, right? So southbound radar, this has to be 1.58. 1.58. And we need this number. Just like that. La la la. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then our this radar here. What's going on here? Here, composite. Oh, south is going into there. Yeah, did I just do that for south? I think I did. I did. All right. Okay, perfect. And then for west, 3.16, right? .16. We'll do that, and then this here. And now what we'll have on our one screen is we should have 4 lines in 4 different directions. Oh boy, because we still have to do one more. We got to do east, which will be 4.72 plus 1.58. And that goes to there. All right, perfect. All right, and 4.72. Holy, it's dark in here. Let's see. $6.3. All right. Oh boy. I hope the music is still going. Okay, so now we have that. All right, and then we'll spawn that. Where's all the video going? Into the one monitor. Okay, so if we spawn that in, oh, you know what? Did I do that right? Yeah, I did. What we need to do in here, that we might actually need, I wonder if I can just leave these blank. We don't need any code in these. Oh boy. Let's see if this works. It's not working. So does that mean then, right, because this is our video signal here, from there, and we're printing it from there, outbound. But we don't actually need that. We only need, oh, the rotation is for that line. Right, and then it prints it, and then it gives us our video. So I wonder if we need this Lua script and the video in the other. Right? If we feed the video into here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the video. Let me see how this is. North, west, east, and south. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter, honestly. Now we got to merge these together. So if I bring them into one script, how do we do this? Let's see. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? What I want to do is I want to take this script here because it has all the lines and everything on it that we need. Um, and we can bring that into there. But then what we also need, if we do that, then we need to add the rotation into here. Do we need the rotation, or do we need the composite? We need the composite as well because it has the rotation. And then we're just eliminating this, and we're just putting it in the other block. All right, let's see if that's going to work. So we need the rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check music. Oh yeah, it's almost done. It's, oh my goodness, it's all done. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Composite. It doesn't matter how. They come in. North, south, east, west. All right, we'll do that. North, and then this will be west. This will be south. And this is east. Okay, so then we go into this one here. Take that, copy it, and then we just bring this through. We're just going to do that and that. Update it. Okay, go into here. I think I already had one copied. Yeah, I had this in there. So this could be like east, and then what is that? South. All right. North. And west. Oh my. My. Yeah, we need the video signal because it's the radar that draws the video for us. So I guess I need to sort out the video signals. Okay, so that's one's east. Okay, and then this one is south. This one's north. There we go. East. And now that we have all of that sorted out, yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we can take this and we can. Oh, how do I want to do this? I need all these composites to go in here. How do we want to do this? This will have to be in a part 2. It's really late. It's really simple, but I don't know why I can't figure it out. This is gonna have to be a part 2. Let's just check one thing, and then I'll check my other 360 radar and see if I've made it all together. Right. No, I use four little monitors, but I put it all into one controller. Let me see how this works. Oh, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? Aha. But it has to go out to all four little monitors. Right, right, right. So that's where I had taken it, just like that, and then I had made it into four little, so you can have your 360 radar. I guess that was the solution that we came up with. Well, there you go. I hope you learned something from this video. Hey, we made a little dial. It looks pretty cool, and we made a 360 radar. So now you should know how to fully make a cool looking dial that has a line and does some sorts of things. So build it, play with it, put it on your builds, enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. If I can get to the next one.